percentage, not percentage, relative abundance of chlorine 35 into atomic mass of chlorine 35 plus relative abundance of chlorine 37 into atomic mass of chlorine 37. Right? Are you understanding, my dear students? This formula derived is very, very simple for understanding. Divided by 4. अभी ये क्वेश्चन आएगा कि ये डिवाइडेड बाय 4 क्यों किया सर, डिवाइडेड बाय 3 क्यों नहीं, डिवाइडेड बाय 2 क्यों नहीं, दो एलिमेंट है. Because the total number of atoms existing are 4. Just look at the ratio. How many number of atoms for chlorine 35? 3 atoms. And how many number of atoms for the chlorine 37? 1. So 3 plus 1, that will be equals to 4 number of atoms, right? तो 4 number of atoms में से हमको ये देखना है कि ये वाला मास ज्यादा है या ये वाला मास एग्जिस्ट करता है ज्यादा नेचर में. ओके, नाउ let's do the calculation. Relative abundance of chlorine 35 क्या होगा? 3 into atomic mass of chlorine 35 plus relative abundance of chlorine 37 1 into atomic mass of chlorine 37 divided by 4, that is equal to 105 plus 37 divided by 4, that is equal to 142 by 4 is equal to 35.5. So what is the average atomic mass of chlorine? 35.5. Chalo, likh lo. Then we will solve one more problem which is there in your textbook. Yes. Next problem, take it down. Problem number 4.3. Problem number 4.3. Page number 37 of your textbook. Page number 37 of your textbook. Yes, write down the problem. 3 elements Q, R and T have a mass number 40 and they contain 22, 21 and 20 neutrons respectively. Then represent their atomic composition, with appropriate symbol. Okay. So this is our question, and based on this question we have to write the atomic composition with their symbols. Okay, you remember I told you about the symbols also, how to represent the atomic mass A, how to represent the atomic number Z, how to represent the neutrons N, right? So this is what we are going to do in this problem, but before that we have to solve this problem properly. Okay, always remember that in a numerical chemistry, whenever you approach for solving the problem, one thing you all need to do is you have to properly read the question 2 times. Whether it is physics related problem or whether it is chemistry related problem, always read the particular question 2 times. Okay, so let's read the question. See, there are 3 elements. Right? We understand this clearly that there are 3 elements, and what are the names of the 3 elements? Q, R and T. And this Q, R and T have the same masses. What are the masses of Q, R and T? 40. So chalo likh lo pehle given Q, R and T. Where do we write the masses? Where do we write the masses? At the top side, right? So from this we have clearly understood कि atomic mass दिया है तीनों का भी, Q का भी atomic mass 40 है, R का भी atomic mass 40 है, T का भी atomic mass 40 है. Okay, now next line, they contain 22, 21 and 20 neutrons. Now in this particular question you can see what is given. Neutrons are given, atomic number is not given. एटॉमिक नंबर नहीं दिया है, तो हम लोग कैसे रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे इसको? देखो, 22 is given for Q, 21 is given for R and 20 is given for the T. So this becomes your neutron, capital N. Then the question comes, if we want to represent the element, हम लोग कैसे represent करेंगे? This is A, this is Z and this is capital N. So we have a A, we have a N. What is remaining? Z is equals to question mark. तो हमको यहाँ पे क्या फाइंड आउट करना है? हमको यहाँ पे एटॉमिक नंबर फाइंड आउट करना है. किसका? Q, R और T का. तो उसके लिए एक इक्वेशन है. That equation is A is equals to Z plus N. Am I right? A is equals to Z plus N is the equation. See, whenever if you want to find out the A, you have to add Z and N. तो तुम लोगों को एटॉमिक मास मिलेगा, यानी कि एटॉमिक नंबर और न्यूट्रॉन्स को ऐड करोगे तो क्या मिलेगा? एटॉमिक मास मिलेगा, राइट? बट हियर इन दिस केस द इक्वेशन विल गेट चेंज्ड and the equation will be Z will be coming out and it will be A minus N. So this will be the equation. अभी solve कर सकते हो क्या? It has become very easy. Let's go for the solving purpose. Q का देख लो. Q will be Z is equals to A minus N. So what is the A in the case of Q? 40. Then what is N? 22. What will be the answer? 18. Let's go for the R. Z is equals to A minus N. अभी A सबका सेम नहीं होगा. 40 minus 21. That will be equals to 90. चलो T वाला भी कर देते हैं. T is equals to Z is equals to A minus N. वो वाला इक्वेशन यूज कर रहे हैं. 40 minus 20. That will be equals to 20. समझ में आ गया? तो यहाँ पे Z क्या आएगा? Q के केस में 18 आएगा, R के केस में 19 आएगा और T के केस में 18 आएगा. हो गया प्रूफ? This is very simple, my dear students. Very simple. Right? So such kind of problems are given in your textbook. You can go home and you can thoroughly look at those problems. See, let me tell you one thing. For numerical chemistry, you will be needing a proper practice. Until and unless you don't practice the problems, you will not be able to put it into your paper. Is it right? Everyone has understood this? Okay. Did you all note down this? Okay. Next point, write down. Electromagnetic radiation and wave particle duality. And wave particle duality. Right? Electromagnetic radiation and wave particle duality. Now what is the meaning of this? Duality का meaning क्या होता है? It shows that the electromagnetic radiations have a two kinds of a nature. It has a two kinds of a nature, that is the wave nature and particle nature. देखो इस क्वेश्चन में हमको सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या पढ़नी है, तो वो है वेव नेचर ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स and particle nature of electromagnetic waves, right? Radiation bolo ya waves bolo, right? That will be one and the same. This particular part or this particular concept you people might have already learned in your physics. ये concept physics में भी है, right? Transverse waves, longitudinal waves पढ़ा है ना? अगर नहीं पढ़ा होगा तो पढ़ोगे. Okay? So what are electromagnetic radiations? First write down that. The radiations which are associated with electric and magnetic field, are called as electromagnetic radiations. Right? So what is electromagnetic radiations? Electromagnetic radiations are those which are associated with the electric and magnetic field, are called as the electromagnetic radiations. Now here in this case, in the electromagnetic radiations is made by two words, that is electricity and the second word is magnet. Right? So when these two particular fields are applied on any particular particle, यानी कि किसी भी मैटर या पार्टिकल के ऊपर जब भी इलेक्ट्रिकल और मैग्नेटिक इफेक्ट या फील्ड एक्ट करेगा, then that particular radiations will be called as the electromagnetic radiations. Okay. Now next point, write down. When an electrically charged particle moves under an acceleration, then the electric and magnetic field are produced and transmitted. Right? अगर एग्जाम्पल लेना होगा तो मुझे examples are sun rays. You can write down UV rays, X rays. These are the examples of a electromagnetic radiation, or you can also call it as the radio waves. Sun rays, UV rays, X rays, radio waves, these are all called as the transverse waves. Right? बराबर है ना? दो तरह के waves होते हैं, transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Right? So here electromagnetic radiations are nothing but the transverse waves. Examples are sun rays, UV rays, X rays and radio waves. One thing you people need to remember here is electromagnetic radiation does not require any kind of a medium. राइट. एग्जाम्पल इज सन रेज. सन को कोई मीडियम होता है क्या यहाँ पे अर्थ तक आने के लिए? नो. सो सन रेज आर कॉल्ड एज द इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक rays or the electromagnetic radiations. Okay. So next point, write down. Did you note it down these examples?
Yes.
Okay. Next point, write down. Electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation does not require any kind of a medium for transmission. Electromagnetic radiation does not require any kind of a medium for transmission. Okay. Then next point, one more point, write down. Electromagnetic radiation has two kinds of a nature. Number one, the wave nature, and number two, particle nature. Right? Now let's talk about the wave nature. Of electromagnetic radiation. To make you understand this, I am going to take a very simple example of a wave nature. For example, let's say that you are standing here and you have one ball in your hand, right? And you want to throw this ball. So when you throw this ball, you can see that this ball may either go in a straight line, or we can call it as the linear motion, or it may go into a projectile motion. But remember one thing, that whenever you throw any particular particle, that particle moves in the form of a waves. See, this particular particles are moving in the form of a waves, right? Where there will be one crest, one trough, one crest, one trough, one crest and one trough. Now what is crest and trough? The upward displacement of a wave is called as the crest. The downward displacement is called as the trough. Right? So these are the characteristics of the wave motion. Are you understanding this? So this is how we are going to derive the characteristics of the wave motion. So note it down. Characteristics of wave motion. Characteristics of wave motion. Point number one. Wavelength. Point number one. Wavelength. So what is wavelength here? Wavelength को भी समझना important है ना? So what is wavelength? Wavelength means the distance between the two crests or the distance between the two trough. Okay, the distance between, note it down, लिख लो. Wavelength. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, तेरा और मेरा wavelength मैच होता है. Right? So what is wavelength? Wavelength is nothing but the distance between the two crests or the distance between the two trough is called as the wavelength. समझ में आ गया? Did not understand? The distance between the two crests, C-R-E-S-T, crest, and the distance between the two trough are called as the wavelength. Okay? Then next point, write down. Wavelength is represented by. Wavelength is represented by lambda. Lambda.
Spelling.
Don't make any other meaning out of it. This This is called as the lambda. We people are, I know that you people are very much intelligent. You can take up many minutes of it. Anyways, jokes apart, but this is represented by the lambda. Okay? आणि लॅम्डाचा सिम्बॉल असा आहे हे लक्षात ठेवा. ओके. नेक्स्ट velocity. The next characteristics is velocity. Velocity, write down. Velocity is the speed at which the wave travels. Velocity is the speed at which the wave travels. Right? So velocity मतलब क्या है? Velocity is nothing but a speed. See, whenever the waves are traveling, they are traveling with a certain acceleration, with a certain kind of a speed, right? And that speed is denoted in the form of a velocity, and that velocity is denoted by the letter C. Okay? So write down next point. Velocity is denoted by letter C. Letter C. Okay. Next, frequency. देखो कितने सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है वेव के. Write down what is frequency. The number of oscillations taken place in a 1 second. The number of oscillations taking place in 1 second. That is called as the frequency.
Oscillation नहीं.
Oscillation मतलब कितने बार, 1 सेकंड में कितने बार ऊपर नीचे होता है उसको हम लोग oscillation बोलते हैं. Right? To and fro, from downward, upward towards the downward, downward towards the upward, upward towards the downward. यानी कि कितने बार वो ऊपर नीचे होता है वेव विद इन वेव सेकंड 1 सेकंड. ओके. देखो यहाँ पे तो तुम लोगों को बोर्ड पे दिख रहा है कि वेव माइट बी ट्रैवलिंग इन अ स्लो स्पीड, बट आई एम टेलिंग यू in actual the wave travels very fast. You cannot even look it into a speed with your naked eyes that it is going in the form of a wave. Right? Generally हम लोग देखो कोई भी चीज ऐसा फेंकेंगे तो हमको लगता है कि वो कैसे जा रहा है, either it is going straight line or either it is going like this, projectile motion. But